Hello, welcome to the second hour of Home Wizard. Cindy Dole here. So glad you're with me because we are here to help you enjoy the spaces you call home, whether it's inside or outside, a big place, a small place, how to just enjoy it, because really what's more important than having a home to come to, right? And so that's where you can find out about it here. In fact, if you're out and about, maybe you're getting ready to run some errands on that honey-do or honey-don't list, or maybe you're in the garden or you're working around putzing in the garage, you can always go back and listen again. If you go to cindydole.com, we put the show up right there. Right in fact, tomorrow, it should be up by tomorrow night in the on-air section, although later today you can listen to all of the past shows. Earthquake safety is up there. Our haunted home show is there. Everything is there at cindydole.com. And just make sure that while you are there, email me. Let me know what you're up to, the kind of things you'd like to hear us talk about, because this is about you and making sure that we've got you covered. So just do that at cindydole.com. And follow me on Facebook too, okay? So coming up in the next hour, we're going to continue learning more about how to make sure that your home is staying nice and toasty and cozy, but it's also efficient. Have you ever thought about having someone come and give your home a once-over, an energy audit? And are you sure that there isn't carbon monoxide coming out through your air ducts? And what else is going on with those tax credits? All of that to cover up and cover for you in the next half an hour or so. And then later on, this woman who is such an incredible, has a great vision for just good taste. Her business is called Sulip, and it's in West Hollywood. And it's really become kind of like the go-to place for wrapping paper and having that moment of zen when you are giving a special something to that special someone. And she's going to talk to us about how to really look at a gift, whether it's a tricycle or tickets for a trip, how to package it with love, and maybe use things that you already have around the house. I mean, how about using a banana leaf? Or she's got some really creative things using wax paper and then shaving crayons and putting it in between the wax paper. I mean, it's just amazing. You're not going to believe it. So that's coming up a little bit later on. And before we get back to my guest, I wanted to share one more thing with you. We were talking earlier about home offices, and a trick that I always love is this chalk paint. Maybe you've seen chalk paint. You can buy it in the home improvement stores. It comes in black and green, but you know that you can also make your own customized chalk paint, and it's so easy to do. The solution is basically you get, you want to think basically instant memos or wall calendar or any of that kind of stuff for your home office and projects. But here's how you customize it to any color that you love. You're going to get some of that flat finish latex paint. Sky's the limit. Any color you love. Go hog wild. And then you want to add some of that unsanded tile grout. And that's it. And you basically start a cup at a time, and then you start painting away. And so you're going to start in small areas, but think about starting with a mix of a cup at a time with, you know, your basic flat finish paint, the latex paint, a cup of that, and then add just a couple of tablespoons of this unsanded tile grout, and it's going to thicken it up, and it's going to basically become like a chalkboard. How cool is that? And so then you can sand it down and wipe off the dust, and then you want to condition it, of course, and add like a piece of chalk over the entire surface to kind of test it out, and then you'll clean it with a damp sponge, and voila. And I just love that idea of maybe using that in your pantry to put your little shopping list. Just have some experimentation and have some fun. All right, so let's get back to it and talk about ways to make sure that your home is staying toasty-mosty on these cold nights out there. You knew I was going to use that one. It is cold as ice sometimes at night, although it's warm now. It's back and forth, and with me is Mark and Cynthia Schneider, who get all the questions at Pacific Aire. So, Mark, you get a lot of questions, don't you? People calling in a panic.
Oh, yes.
They love you because
when it's hot or it's cold, we're very popular.
Yeah, and you were talking about how the ducts can make such a huge difference, more so than the filter. What about carbon monoxide? Where's the carbon monoxide coming from, and how is it getting into our home?
You know, we don't live in the Northeast or where it gets really super cold and freezing temperatures. So we, as you mentioned earlier, we take our furnace for granted, and in a lot of cases, we don't change furnaces because the efficiency is such a huge issue. It's really the safety that furnace becomes unsafe. Once we talked about warranties, 10-year warranties, 20-year warranties, once that heat exchanger starts to break down, crack or rust, then the carbon monoxide, the exhaust from your furnace, mixes with the air that you're breathing. So that's one of the big dangers. Besides, we talked about the delayed ignition and potential fire. Carbon monoxide, is a horrible, horrible thing to have happen to anyone. So our big passion when we do tune-ups is to go out to your home and actually stick infrared cameras up inside your heat exchanger. We have digital carbon monoxide detectors. And our goal is when we leave, not only to inform you of the condition of your unit as far as efficiency, but also to confirm that it's safe. And carbon monoxide is one of the big factors.
And so it's always good to have a carbon monoxide detector, too, right?
It's always good, but a carbon monoxide tester that you would buy...
It's not going to catch it all?
Right. It's designed when you're pretty much going to go to sleep. I mean, it's like it's designed to protect you before it becomes lethal, but you could be producing carbon monoxide and putting it in your house, and they're just not sensitive enough. I mean, an example, you can buy one of those for, what are they, $20, $30 now?
Yeah.
And our detectors, well, our infrared cameras cost $3,000. Our digital detectors usually cost a couple $100. So they're designed to tell you not just that it's lethal, but do you have any? And at what level you have it. So it's just good to get that audit to know where you stand. Now, absolutely, I would have carbon monoxide detectors inside my bedrooms.
Sure.
Because the big danger, if it happens during the day, you're going to feel the symptoms. They're very flu-like symptoms. You're going to get nauseated. You're going to have headaches. But when you're sleeping, you won't notice it. You just may not wake up. So you definitely want to have them in your bedrooms, carbon monoxide detectors, especially if your house is, I'd say an older home, but we've had heat exchangers crack on 2, 3, 4-year-old units and become dangerous.
And so you end up replacing the heat exchanger.
Right. And in a 2, 3-year-old unit, you would change the heat exchanger. On a 20-year-old unit, you would change the unit.
All right. So that's the solution to truly getting rid of carbon monoxide.
Right. Right. Yeah, you can't patch. We've had customers ask that. Well, we have a crack in our heat exchanger. Can you weld it? No. You don't want to take a risk with that.
Do people try to do that?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's amazing what people will do with safety. I mean, it just I would not mess with carbon
and that
monoxide.
heat exchanger, that explosion thing that you hear sometimes. I mean, have you seen fires in people's attics, or what happens?
In fact, I need to post that. In fact, you did a wonderful thing for us when we came out to your house when you videoed Keith up in the attic. It got everybody in the company buzzing about this idea, and we actually are in the process right now of producing little YouTube videos on all the how-tos. How do you program your thermostat? How do you change your filter? And one of them also is to show examples. We have pictures of homes, a house in our neighborhood that was only, I think, 7, 8 years old, and the gas line was rubbing the side of the furnace, and it leaked gas in the furnace. And when it ignited, it did that kaboom, and it was in the attic, and started on fire. And so it burnt the furnace up, and fortunately it didn't burn the house down. But we have pictures of all the stuff that from a new unit, just a little thing like that. So, yeah, dangerous. It's just peace of mind of having someone check it is just a great idea.
Because, I mean, I have been in homes, I think even in my childhood home, every now and then I would hear that sound, and I'd ask my dad, is that safe? Oh, we're fine, And I guess you have to trust your instincts, because that sound isn't necessarily a good thing at all.
A good idea is turn the unit on and stand in front of it, and if it does something or sounds funny, have somebody take a look at it.
Okay. Well, when we come back, I want to hear more about this tax credit deadline, because that's kind of been moved up, right? Or it's
end of the year.
End of the year. So we'll find out what that means and how we can still take advantage of it, and the whole energy audit process, and some more of the symptoms in terms of diagnosing what might be making a weird noise in that furnace of yours. If you have a question, you can call on in at 888-539-2980, 888-KFWB 980. Cindy Dole, this is Home Wizards, and we're back in just a few.